As we can tell, I've been here before. Yeah, beautiful ether. 10:52, not bad. I am. What am I doing? Oh yes, for anywhere. Oh, where is it? Yes. I found the perfect Sailor Moon deck. I cannot afford the tarot deck itself. I believe it's made in Korea. It's about $200 to $400 depending on where you find it online. It's the most beautiful deck in the world. But it's just I like salvaging things and using old things, and as much as I would love to try to acquire that, I just don't see it happening. So I figured there are enough characters in the Sailor Moon Pantheon that I could just find a deck of cards that had a lot of characters on it. So most of the decks I came across, you could clearly tell they're pack a deck or playing cards, and they only show like 4 to 6 cards as an example, and I'm not sure if it's going to be repeated throughout the deck. But I came across this one from, I'm guessing, early 2000s. I haven't been able to find a date on it. Let me see when Sailor Moon S came out. 95. So that's the only like specific movie I found on it, but it does have what's her name? Chibi. Tell me how to pronounce it. I've had a kind of a lifelong infatuation with Sailor Moon, and it's only actually grown in my adult years. I really like anything that's decked out in symbolism, and the Sailor Moon franchise that it is. Everything is so freaking adorable too. But you got moons, you got stars, and you got like wacky configurations of beautiful things, and I'm just you know, as the young ones say, I'm here for it. I like this outfit a lot, and I have to refresh on what a lot of her outfit. There's names for everything. There's like reasons and definitions for everything, and in the last few years I've been studying a lot of symbolism in general. Probably you'll probably hear me say symbolism about 1,000 times per little segment, but I don't know, I find it to be one of the only universal, truly universal languages, symbolism and math, and you know, if you don't know what to draw, or like if you don't want to say something so blatant in a drawing, you can use symbols. Same thing in music and just about everything. Film. And I just love this outfit. It reminds me of like the German flags, so that would be a fun one to try to make. I'm still trying to organize where the sewing stuff is, because I plan on making that like a little sewing nook. I do sew. I do not know how to sew, but I do sew. I enjoy it. And yeah, so been talking too much this week. I will probably move the camera maybe and do a flip through, but for now I'm just gonna put them back in order because I realized that they were in order. So this is a brand new deck, unless just whoever got rid of it decided to put it in order. And from here I'll figure out which suits will suit the suits of a tarot deck. And as you can see, there's no repeats. There's repeat outfits and characters, but there's no repeats. None of them are the same picture. And judging on a certain character's attributes and perhaps judging how they're posed in a photo is how we'll figure out what a meaning could be for it. So it looks like we have 2 jokers, unless I missed some. Alright. Is the jack in here? Yes. I'm obsessed with these. I'm gonna take a picture real quick. My phone just died. How much I stare at this thing. I can never just look in the top right corner to see the battery life. I'm pretty stoked for this. I'm gonna start flipping through. I should grab my notebook real quick because I have all kinds of notes and they'll help me. Ooh. Damn. My friend sent me this picture of a candle she's burning, but I can't get over how cloud-like the candle wax looks. It's like a matte. Okay, back to business. I'm gonna grab that notebook real quick because I think it would serve its purpose in this moment. 11 o'clock here in Southeast Florida, not bad. Could be quiet. Like, to use the languages are just remembering words and the patterns that they belong in. My mommy. Oh, a little salmon sticker in my notebook. This and Ugly Shyla. She is a local artist from Louisiana. She makes some really, really cool stuff. A friend hipped me to her, and I actually came across one of her old videos that I swear I've seen before. And yeah, check her out. Okay, so the jack will of course be the page, and we already have king and queen. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Grab the royal cards of everything first. And they already have a like way to use regular decks as tarot cards. There's plenty of different formulas you can deploy, but I think that would make the characters on the cards irrelevant. And like I said, Sailor Moon has an insane pantheon going on, so let's use that as a method of divination. Bobo tarot cards. One day I'll probably, you know. Okay, so what's the ace gonna... Oh, there's already an ace. I should grab a regular tarot. No. Doing it this way. Oops, just close the page. But in this notebook, I've like... any time I find like new little tips or tricks to read or remember for tarot decks, I just put in here. So I got some tarot notes, but also yes or no for every card in a 54 card deck, basic playing deck. Little doodle. And colors. Dice. We got the Oyam. A lot of the stuff I don't say out loud. I'm gonna be starting as I film more and more of it, and talk to more and more people like about it. But yeah, a lot of this I've never said out loud. Meeting people with similar interests is a relatively new thing for me. And this is for the Druid rods, which I should have kept it all in here. And I'm gonna make a pretty long video called Talking to God, but that's just known to Terry Davis's thing because we're gonna do Temple OS in the same video, and I'm also gonna run through some like traditional methods of divination. It's something that I'm interested in. Oh, dominoes, of course. Every domino, a meaning. Dice. Every combination, a meaning. And a bunch of, like, really random recipes for, marinades. A japsandal, it's an eggplant dish. Few eggplant dishes of Zorka. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing this right. Armenian spinach, chacona. I was really into like simple, like traditional recipes when I was a kid, and I really liked Eastern European type, kind of Slavic cuisine. It's so utilitarian. It could appear a bit extra at times, but I assure you I am strictly utilitarian. Let's see here. Oh, and I have to find out what movies each outfit comes from. Let me just look up superheroes because this might all be from it. Okay. I don't remember Chibi being in that movie. I really don't know. For another time. But as far as I just can't get over how perfect these cards are. I really can't. I'm trying to read my own handwriting here. Oh, okay. Please let a pattern emerge. So, oh look, I'm using a deck of playing cards for tarot to see what WikiHow. Luna, pretty sight. I really just need something really simple right now. Lots of spades. Spades I need. Little shovels I use in the garden. I really gotta organize my tasks. Missing one. No, I'm not. Okay, so okay, that makes sense. Hearts being cups, because hearts is usually more geared towards emotions. You know, what is your cup full of today, my dear? Diamonds, pentacles, that makes sense, because pentacles is also coins a lot of times, or golds, and I like that. And this makes a lot sense. Huh. Clubs. What kind of club is this? Like, why is it called clubs? Because to me, I'm sure it's a clover, maybe. I wish I called them clovers. That sounds nice. Hearts and clovers. Okay. So starting with swords. Swords. Spade, sword. Spade, like a garden spade. You could sword someone up with one of them. Why do I look like such a plain Jane today? It's because you can't see the desk at all. Like, at all. Should I restart the stream? Oh my god. I cannot believe I just did that. Alright, I'm going to, like, work over here, maybe? I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Slowly. I have this quaint little paper mache box that I found at a yard sale, and I keep some contraband, which is just like Jack's nibs from somebody, Jack on my shirt, and some. I always pick up lots of nibs on eBay because I do use them with various things, and sometimes those various things cause them to get bent and therefore lose their flow. I'm looking at these first. Okay. Night. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Shoot. Well, there's no night, so I'm gonna skip that one. Thank you, yeah. Can't seem to get on earlier than this, but night owl problems. And, just scored a Sailor Moon deck. So, figured that, yeah, I would capture this historical moment in my life. So thank you very much. I'm completely out of it myself, so I know this is going to be a boring stream. I just, I have problems doing stuff every single day. Like, I get, out of the... I need more ritual in my life, so I'm trying this. Yeah! And, yeah. And, trying to use this like a tarot deck. That's why I got one with the characters on it. And keep closing the book that I need open. Okay. So this is perfect. The Queen of Cups can easily symbolize like supportive, like a kind of a support net, if you will, and there is a group of friends here, so nothing more supportive than a group of friends. Oh, that's Jack. Studious, youth, new love, volunteer work, again, group of friends, I could see that. I'm trying to figure out if the Jack should be the knight or the page. Is a Jack a knight or a page? it's, as long as you, like, have a few archetypes, like, worked out and, like, a slight understanding or just awareness, you can use any cards to do into, maybe not just plain decks of cards, because staring at numbers, you can't really draw anything from that. And maybe just like a mix of the two. So the jacks will be more for youth, and of course queen, feminine, composed, king, stern, masculine. And this is in regards to cards, not humans. God, I love the art on them though. They're so perfect. I could not have found like... They're like little Disney princess-esque shot. Sailor Neptune looking divine as ever. And I do get these are like supposed to be 15-year-olds or not, or whatever. The cartoon characters, I love their outfits and the archetypes, and I just feel like that's one thing that somebody always has to say, like, even with Disney princesses, you know she's like 15, right? It's like, okay, she's got cool thingamabobs, and she's got like 20 of them. Dope. I did find a garnet rod that I'm looking at, but handmade, and the garnet itself lights up, and gosh, it's about like 6 feet tall. It's so cool. And I don't know, I'm not a frivolous person, but I kind of thought as home decor because a giant like cluster of keys in the corner of a room, I think, sounds really nice to me. I don't know if that's something that a lot of people could agree with, but I'm sure there are people out there. I just want a bunch of Moroccan lamps and garnet rods everywhere. This is a lot more anticlimactic than I thought it would be. I think it's one thing too is the silence is getting to me. I'm one of those types of people that have headphones in their ears 24/7 and blasting and listens to just about every genre, has a song for every second of the day. But I can't do that here. I have a few friends that are in bands and know of a lot of local musicians, but a few like really good, like genuinely good. It's just I don't know. I guess I haven't really asked anybody yet. I did get up the courage to ask one person. My friend Farmer Sal has some like really sick like jam session like style grooves, if you will, and I fully plan on playing that. It's just a matter of how. I should have a computer. Will found me a MacBook Air, and it's pretty much exactly what I need and then some, and I should be getting it tomorrow, the next day, and from there I'll be able to start editing videos together again. Like, I have this deck. Ooh, hey, hold on, I've had it for a few days now. It's a Sailor Moon. It's like the Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. Magic, Sailor Moon. There's a Sailor Moon card game. But yeah, no, so if anybody wants to try to play this somehow over the internet, I think that would be really sweet. I'm trying to look for more. And I will probably make a separate video opening these, so it'll be like just a 10-minute quick video to appease somebody's curiosity about this like game. And oh, I'm so stoked. Because there's holographic cards and everything. I'm sure not all of them are holographic, but I still have my Pokemon cards too. That was another thing that I wanted to try to compile into a tarot deck, but I think I want to do it with somebody. Like, judging by the archetypes of the characters that I know already, like, it'll be fun. What's that? Haruka? I don't know why I just looked up Go Moon Racer, Sailor Moon. You never know if something's gonna be, you know. Um, yeah, Sailor Moon themes. Like I said, I'm out to squash some childhood dreams, and I don't know if you were here a second ago, or if you're still here, but I just found out Sailor Moon has a card game, just like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! I never learned how to play any of them, but I still have all my Pokemon cards, and Pogs, but these are possible to play over the internet, and definitely looking for more. It's still sealed in its package, so I'm going to make a separate video opening it. And I doubt they're all holographic, but I want to make a tarot deck essentially out of... That's why I got these cards. I found these. These are just Sailor Moon playing cards. That sounded so bad. They, my phone, it doesn't have a screen protector on it. I spilled coffee on it. But, what was... Oh yeah, so they have a ton of Sailor Moon playing card decks. There's a Sailor Moon deck of tarot cards that, but they're like $180, so I doubt I will ever, even if I had a Sailor Moon tarot deck like dough, I don't think I would go for it. That could just, it gets so many craft supplies, I just couldn't see myself putting that much into one place. Unless it was like a commodity or a precious metal. Remember when did you guys ever... A few years ago, the dong and the dinar is like, currency's dinar I think is in, God, I already forgot. Is it Afghanistan? Somewhere. But they're supposed to reevaluate it, and I don't think anything happened with it. So many of my friends just went out and got a bunch of dong and dinar, and I'm still really curious about it. I didn't think about that board game simulator. I have like this little stash of board games that I'm dying to play, but I've yet to get to it. And I think that's why I really do like card games and stuff like that, but finding another person down to play card games, tarot cards, I think that's why I gravitated towards them, because they're, I don't view them as metaphysical as most people do, and because I think of them more as like a brain hack, like if you can't come up with a solution, you could just like look at various symbols. It's very, you know, kind of like intuitive, but also childlike, and it's pretty sweet. And the stuff is dripping with symbolism, and I just can't get over that. Like all the like slightly Masonic stuff I've been finding in this, there's this one like sword thing she has, or wand, and it's the Order of the Eastern Star. It's the same colors and everything. I'm stoked. I have some magic cards too that I was going to try to put a deck together and do a tarot deck, because there's so many cards, so that means there's so many like actions that the cards do. Oh yeah, real quick, this deck has no repeats, so if somebody knows the archetypes like of the characters and like their attributes and attitudes, if you look up like Sailor Moon attitudes, it says like their favorite foods, like their personality types and stuff like that. So it's perfect to use this for like any form of reading or anything. And whatchamacalled, same thing with Pokemon magic cards, and those have specific actions like on the cards. So like I've never seen anybody use them like for metaphysical reasons, but I'm thinking it's kind of a perfect fit. I think what I use it most for anyway is like for art or drawing. So many times I've just like picked a few random tarot cards and used that as like a because I don't know, I always feel like I have to explain like I like something because it's a scary world today. Like, I find myself creeping online all the time now. People will be having arguments about everything. I'm such a non-combative person, so it's, whoa. Like, somebody asked if I was vegan, and I was dead nervous to answer. I was like, no, but I don't even see it. Instant anxiety. To be fair, I have tried it, and I have a half sister that has been vegan for about like a lifetime. I literally and instantly start dying if I try that shit. I love fruit and I love vegetables all day, every day, but I didn't realize like how bad digestion could get and energy could get. Like, I'm already a really low energy person unless it's the middle of the night, and can't do it. And yeah, no, God, just the thought of it. Will often has just random things playing on the TV, and sometimes these vegan deterioration videos come on, and it's insane. Like, they go from like sunshine, such like sun-loving Californians to frickin' Civil War era coal miners, like in a matter of years. I gotta tell Will up real quick. Well, I don't know if y'all use a lot of water, but I've been asking Will to look into those like water machine things, and you get the delivery water monthly or bi-monthly. It's cheaper. A lot of pockets in Florida there is well water, and so you have to use bottled water for absolutely everything. And the bottles were getting obnoxious. I don't have a heat gun yet, but let me try to look it up. This guy, you know, the Paris catacombs, how it's like the walls of schools. So this guy made that out of plastic bottles. And I've tried to look it up before and I couldn't find it. But maybe it caught on. Can't find it. I know I saved it like on Facebook. Shoot, that's where I saw it. And Sorry. It's just a quiet night. And this thing's still treating me right. It's the mailing watercolor kit that I always go on about. And I got it when it was 15 bucks on Amazon. It's usually 20. Highly worth it. Lasts forever and it's really fun. Even Will loves the watercolor paint now. I got him a Derwent kit, UK brand. And it's quite nice. I make these stickers and then, oops, I put my website on it and then I leave them around. It's my new little logo. I like simple things that I could draw quickly. And because say if somebody's like, oh, you have a website, can you write it down in my notebook? That never happens. I'm the only person I know that carries a notebook with me anywhere I go. Even if I don't have a purse, I have a notebook with me. But whatchamacalled? Yeah, I leave them around in vague places. So if you're in Southeast Florida, name and like St. Augustine and find one of these guys. Hello. And these, I did a video making them, and I made some banners for notebooks, but they're just label paper, like what you would print a shipping label on, and you could get that anywhere, even Walgreens, and colored pencils and or watercolor, and you just take a piece of packing tape and put that on top of your drawing, cut it out, and you have a perfectly usable sticker. And since it's on label paper, it's got the adhesive part all protected. Maybe I could put one in my notebook. I have some stickers in the back. I got Ugly Shiloh, which is the local artist in Louisiana, and Sailor Moon. And pretty soon, one of these. Maybe. Oh, okay, maybe a poppy. Well, I'll just do this one because it's in the back, and this is just a stairwell, or staircase, a set of stairs. And maybe I will do the poppy actually. Yeah, because I could just redraw it. And look at that. And it's just packing tape on label paper. Look. It's brilliant. This heart looks really gross. What the fuck did I use to paint that? Oh, I hope it's not. I've been in that witchy phase since I was in like middle school. And that notebook is from middle school. Like where it says out there, I wrote that in middle school. It's actually from the Marlboro catalog. Back in the day, Marlboro, the cigarette brand, used to have miles on the box, and I can't remember if it was on both sides of the box or just one side. And the thing is you ripped those off and saved them, and had all your friends, you know, give you theirs and all that. And when you had an absolute ton of them, you could pick things out of their catalog, and you paid with the miles. And sure thing, you would just send them a box of these like ripped pieces of boxes and all kinds of stuff. They actually had one of the best catalogs. Tents, really good camping clothes, and really nice backpacks, cookbooks, this genuine leather, like thick boy notebook, and just stuff like that, just outdoorsy things. Fun fact, I was in love with the Marlboro Cowboy when I was a kid. Any, like, flyer that they sent to the house, my dad's a blue-collar worker, he smokes a lot of cigarettes and drinks a lot of beer. And I would keep them, I would have pictures of that lovely lad everywhere. Marlboro Cowboy. I'm really interested in finding out when these cards were made, though. Because they are a little faded, but in a kind of nostalgic way, not in a reprint way. I don't know. A lot of times, like, when a card is reprinted, the scanning and the printing, I guess, it desaturates it quite a lot. Like, I found a fake deck of Doreen Virtue Oracle decks, because she actually quit making Oracle decks. Anytime you saw those decks, like Angel Secrets, Oracle decks, they were always Doreen Virtue. Doreen Virtue. I am interested in how many decks she actually designed. But she stopped making them, and she's like an evangelicus now. But, you know, to each their own. It makes her actually more interesting to me because it's just so wild. Wild switch. And, but she's gone on tangents telling people not to buy her decks. She's posted videos of her burning her decks, and her decks are worth a lot now. I used to have so many of them from gifts, and I always give them to my mom, and God knows she doesn't know where they are. Camel Joe, yeah. It's the most nostalgic stuff to me, because, like, one of the houses, there's only one, one of the rooms in my parents' house, it's just old, like, bar memorabilia and a pool table, but it's all, like, Camel Joe, like, the Budweiser ladies, like, they always had, a blonde girl with either leather or denim shorts on and a Budweiser next to a Harley, and, I quite miss all that. There was a while when I wanted to try to convert a cigarette machine into a jewelry thing because they're so damn cool. And that's one thing that's disappearing are the cigarette machines, which I get it. They don't sell anything except cigarettes, but those knobs are so damn... Yeah. I grew up in Southeast Florida, and Southeast Florida is definitely like a bar scene as a whole. And I was just talking to somebody actually talking about Camel, and when they had people walking around with backpacks giving people free packs of Camels, and nobody remembers that. Red Bull did it too. If you saw the car with the can on it, you knew you were going to get a free can of Red Bull. But nobody remembers the Camel. And the Camel Crush things that they were giving out willy-nilly. And like dive bars and clubs and stuff. Clematis is one of like the main like downtown areas in Palm Beach County, I think. And got many a pack of free packs of Camel there. And it's always just one dude in a backpack just like pedaling it around. It sounds so made up, but it definitely was a thing for a really long time. I don't remember Budweiser frogs. The Budweiser song, "This Bud's for you," and you always pops in my head. Budweiser frogs. Huh, how do I not? They just reminded me of the Chihuahua for Taco Bell. I think we need a bigger box. I watched some of the... I love watching old ads, especially from days gone by. I really thought it would be cool to edit a bunch of, like, TV shows together, but also commercials in between, and kind of live in a different decade for a day. I thought that would be really fun. Coffee. I say I don't know how I don't sleep and I don't know how I wake because I go on live at midnight and drink a ton of coffee. trying to get it all hooked up. But this is finally a chainsaw household. You! Oh God, was it the coffee? No. Just follow that. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Okay, blue song. Yeah. It's cool too. It has an 18-inch blade and a 22-inch blade, so you can get big things. Trying to find now a chainsaw mill, because for the permaculture projects, I get chip drops from local tree companies. You just, like, say if you're sick of mowing or you have a lot of sandy patches or you want to start planting up an area, you get spent hay from any equestrian places, or like, what are those called? Feed shops? Feed supply shops. And or the local tree companies, because they usually chip all of that on site and it's just sitting in their truck, and it's actually really hard for them to find places to put it. Chip drops are getting more popular, so it's actually become quite difficult to find people that will deliver to us, because they have a lot of people that they're delivering to already. But the good thing is we're able to take really big pieces. So am I gonna oh god, these shorts suck. But like massive pine logs, like huge logs. I have a picture of like sitting on top of it on my Instagram, and I'm gonna try to make them into planks. And from that, I can make just about everything. Lumber is so expensive, and we have like a pile of it out there. And all a chainsaw mill is like a frame, and that you could glide your chainsaw with ease down, like, and have it stay put. I still have my sneakers on because I was doing a lot of outside stuff today. Finally planted some Everglades tomatoes, and what those are, it's a perennial tomato, and they're about the size of blueberries, sometimes even smaller, but they're really, really good. And they grow year-round here in Florida, and it's kind of more like a shrub, and they're self-seeding. So when you plant them once, you're supposed to be able to have them for the rest of your life. I haven't gotten them to spread yet, but finally got them in the ground this year, and can't wait for that. I have a few kind of 1-foot plants that I'm going to throw. I have on Facebook Marketplace, I sell any excess plants that I have, because the ones that I specialize in are ones that you could just literally rip off the plant and put them in the ground, like mulberry, moringa even, chaya, cassava. God, I'm like, the cuttings is alright. It's a worthwhile tree to have. It's not just a gas station mystery powder. It's one of those, yeah, I remember that. It's so cute. That's why I don't understand why, like, especially my generation is so easily triggered, because, like, I figured we would be desensitized, like, I wonder what the percentage of kids, like, grew up on South Park. It wasn't my mom's choice. Her best friend loved the show, and therefore we watched it all the time. And, still to this day, my favorite episode is the creme fraiche episode. It's just so wholesome. I love it. Stan's dad or Randy is my favorite character anyway. And, like, I still watch the show, like, just to watch Randy. Same thing with The Office. Dwight just never gets old. I just asked Will if he could make a computer program that separates all the parts of The Office. So, like, if you just want to watch Dwight and Reed, it's Reed, right? It'll just, yeah, be those parts. Or, is his name Jared in the show, or is his name Jared in the other show? The guy from Silicon Valley is in it. He always plays the most hysterical characters. Like, ooh, no. I didn't really do anything creative today, though. That's why I keep looking around, seeing if there's something. I rarely plan the things that I make. I kind of just sit here and stuff will pop out, and I'll just kind of put it together. Because that's all jewelry making is like finding some components that look cool together and figuring out how to attach it onto essentially a line, and then you could put it and hang it places. And I did finally get a memorial jewelry order. Somebody wants their puppy dog put in some pieces. They had some rings done, and because they actually came to me to ask if I could do that a few months ago, but they went with somebody else and the rings broke. But I did also mention that resin and rings, if you put a lot of stuff in the resin, there's too many weak spots, so there's a lot of spots that it could fracture. And for memorial jewelry, I'd probably want something like something thick. There's no way like that's gonna break in half, and it's got a hole in the piece itself, so it's not something that's like externally attached that could snap off, and that's gonna last forever. Yeah, seriously, like, I mention that all the time because a lot of my friends are deeply passionate about things. I'm not so much. I pay attention a lot too much, and I think that's why I get into so many arguments with friends. Because, like I was talking, there's this one guy who sends me a lot of news articles, and it's all like blind stuff that, like, even if you weren't on a certain side, you could at least be like, well, that's, yeah, but that's like, you know, just, I'm not gonna give any examples. I stay away from politics because I don't know if they spread lyme or not. And I'm actually gonna make a separate channel called like something like Devil's Advocate or something, where I literally just spew out my questions, not really thoughts, because my opinions and my thoughts change like more than daily, and I think that's completely healthy, because the more information you get, obviously your ideas and your thoughts should change, and if they don't, you're a fucking bot. Like, there's no nice way to say it. And you're just repeating, like, you're not thinking and you're not processing. If you process something and there's no output, like, yeah, and yeah, but I don't know, I just like, I'm always very vague in my responses and just kind of like prying for slightly more information, and they just start going on and on about how I must be watching this because I'm obviously ill-informed, and I didn't even hint towards like an opinion by any means, and it's just like that mentality freaks me out, because you can't say much at that point. And like, how I come to an opinion is, even if I agree with you, I'll end up debating with you just so I can find some bit of middle ground, or if there's something I'm missing, or else it feels like I don't know, just like a one big confirmation bias or something like that. And I don't know. One word people should be one term people should be really familiar with is thought terminating cliches. It's how people shut you down before you could even open your mouth. And, you know, everybody should be wary, like, just because we're, we're a bunch of processors walking around with other processors, and always trying to get something in the name of survival or whatever. And I don't know. I find that I trust my immediate surroundings, though. I use this bus stop analogy a lot. You have three people sitting on the bus, everybody has a different political view or whatever, but you're not in an argument, you're just sitting having light conversation, because you're all just waiting for a bus. Like, it's, you know, we all go to Publix and, like, have lighthearted conversation, or at least acknowledge each other's existence without having any idea what their beliefs are. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. It very us and them. It's getting bonkers though. Like, I'm not one to judge a book by its cover, but when the books are like literally screaming at you, it gets a little bit insane. I'm a chronically neutral person though. I can always see like both sides. Yeah, it does get me into some arguments, because I don't know. I guess because, like, you can't argue with somebody who doesn't necessarily agree or disagree, but, God. And there's so many bigger, I know, like, everybody says that, there's so many bigger things happening in the world, but, like, I feel like in this case it's true, like, separating what's happening worldwide to, like, what is shown on the news is just hysterical. It's almost a joke at this point. I don't know why, like, people aren't more, open about, like, just what they think in general and what they see on the news. It's just, I don't know. Anytime I watch the news, I feel like a kid in class or something, and like I'm being talked down to, like, physically. It's just very strange. And like, I can only handle like so many some dude saves cat stories. Like, I do like Y on Gravitas, and I mean, God, for the past year, like, it was getting so bad, I was like, there, I don't know, I have to dig for news anyway, and I listen to everything and anything. Like, last year's news came from, like, Gonzalo Lira and We Are Change, and I couldn't find anything else that even would, like, tickle certain possibilities, or, like, I don't know, it was all so blatant, and, like, I don't know, very strange. I'd rather watch, like, what's actually happening or watch nothing at all, because it's just not there. And I always have to remind myself that, like my family and, like, friends, they're watching this. Like, if you're in a book club and you're, like, all reading a different book, or it doesn't work, and, like, there's gonna be some, like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not what this line says. Like, oh, we're clearly reading other books. I guess that's a good analogy too. But it's everything though. It's obviously, like, there's some things that need to be worked out as far as, like, more individualized, because it's too more complex, but some things aren't. Like, some things are, like, I don't know, but that's just opinion. God, I hate talking cryptically. I just, maybe I should start jamieuncensored.com. Just kidding. But, yeah. Yeah, actually. How do you think I scooped that one up? I'm still not, like, what's it called, satisfied with his response. I'm so curious. I mean, he went missing for, like, it was like 18 days or something. How long was it? Oh, like, it went from, if I go missing for longer than 12 hours, just accept I'm dead, just know I'm dead, call the embassy, which I get, his freaking life was literally at risk, but, and I know he can't say anything about it, but the curiosity is driving me nuts. And now he doesn't really, I think his uploads have gone for, like, there's a few days in between uploads now, and it's, oh, pretty tame. I feel like he is starting to juice back up, but definitely something happened. Yeah. I got a kick out of him. I'm a fan of arseholes, to say it a little more tame. Because if they have the balls to say, like, what they actually think, it's just, I find more value in that than saying something that somebody wants you to say. And, because, like, I don't know, if the more sides you hear, like, the more likely you are to gravitate towards the center, which, you know, might not be like what's exactly happening, but have more of a well-rounded, like, perception of any form of, because it's just, you can't say anything anymore. Like, I sound like I'm glitching or, like, something like that, but it's just, I know, like, and, like I say, a lot of my friends are, right with their left hands. Very few of my friends are with their right hands. And to see the polarity, you can't see it any place better than, like, Twitter or Facebook, unfortunately. But, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, oh damn, like, well, read this. And I'm not saying specifics because, and, like, nobody even knows what I could be talking about anyway, because there's just that many arguments going on at once. It's like we're being shaken up to fall back into place, but I don't know. And I still have yet to hear anybody talk about the World Economic Forum. Like, is that too big for people? Like, is it, oh, it's like when you're like, going up a hill, like, oh, we're getting a little too high up, so we should probably just, like, stay down here. There's a lot creepier and more insidious things taking place, like, actively, and, like, a lot of it has been going on for years. Like, I remember reading about World Economic Forum years ago, and, like, just about everything else, HARP and CERN and all that. And some of it, generally, I am excited about, like, the science side, like, find those missing pieces, because, damn, I'm curious. I mean, nothing's gonna stop from this little lady. And, I don't know. Adrenaline, too, I feel like you don't even have to watch movies anymore. You just have to look at the world around you. It's stranger than fiction, as they say. And then, of course, you find in all the movies. Because, like, I really do believe in predictive programming. There's no way that this much money is sucked into, like, this little space for people's eyes to just be hooked to. And then to sell them all this merchandise on it. It's very creepy. I love the word insidious because just everything is. And it's kind of fun going on little scavenger hunts, like, but doesn't make it any more or less settling, because, God, I just, I don't, and there's, like, that part of me, too, it's like, was I just not aware when I was a kid, and, like, everything was just always like this, and just because now I'm, like, far more aware, and, like, there's just so much online that you could, like, all the different CIA projects and stuff like that, gosh. You could read about a new one a day, and you wouldn't go through them all. And, jeez. All reminds me of that movie. The only movie that truly traumatized me, and it's just because the visuals, was The Man Behind the Sun. And it was about the human experiments in Japan. Good. Like, freezing arms and, like, breaking them off. And, God, that movie... And the fact that it's, like, based on extremely true events. I mean, we've read all the papers and stuff, but not all the papers, obviously, but, I've been desensitized for human nature for quite some time now, and I think that's why, my art is a very dark nature. Me, externally, very bubbly, whatever, but, like, for instance, this is what the drawing I'm working on now. I didn't plan it, it just happens. Sounds a bit cliche, but it's true. How does this come out of this? I don't know. But, I mean, if you saw pictures of me when I was a kid, you would understand. Like, my friend and I used to make death photos, in which, I have one here. I think I showed this, actually. Here's me after getting mowed over. And it's iodine and corn syrup. I made a great fake blood. Here's whatever. I think this was inspired by Smashing Pumpkins. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Darcy. That's the bassist of Smashing Pumpkins. I only really like the album she's on too. My mom likes the Ava Adore album, but Gish and Siamese Dream, and there's another one, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Those albums are really... Melancholy, I don't know many songs from that. I think it's just Siamese Dream and, Gish that I'm really familiar with. Yeah, more space and more ocean. Like, how the hell have we not found out Atlantis yet? Like, I feel like we have. I feel like there's a few spots that are blatantly Atlantis, but then again, there's a few spots. And, like, the Eye Sahara fits really, really well. I forgot the parts that make it don't fit. But, and I can't think of any other spots that are like that, but I also haven't researched very much into naturally forming concentric circles on our planet, but, and it's always, like, very Stargate-like feeling when you see the pictures of the, Rubaiyat? What's that called? Is it called a Rubaiyat? In Afghanistan, Anti-Iraq, all in the portion of the Middle East. That's where ancient Sumer was, and it just looks like a scene from Stargate. All the U.S. military people running on these like ancient structures. It's very hard to convince me that they weren't running towards a Stargate. And the space thing too, like how difficult is it to get past all that trash, and more and more trash just keeps being put up there. I know they're gonna come up with like a cylinder that just vaporizes stuff, like it just like is a laser that spins or something, and that'll be pretty sweet. Reminded me of something that's actually going on is there's a whole rebirth or like a renaissance of airships, like hot air balloons, and Amazon already has a patent out for a mobile airship like factory, so I'll have all the packages up there and little drones go in and out with the packages like a swarm of bees in a beehive. And you know, if it's happening, it's happening. That's gonna be I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like some devastation, like things that don't work, and or like a slight movement, a bunch of packages go everywhere. I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of bad, but that's everything. And I think the excitement of seeing something like that that's not CGI, like, is just astounding. And I used to get really pessimistic about the future and stuff like this. I think until before meeting Wall, because before meeting Wall, like, I didn't know anything about computers or like the internet really, and like kind of programmers kind of seemed like the most insidious, like kind of like surgeon almost, like best premise of any horror movie. But I don't know. I think also like the inability to change anything, and just I don't know. I think I'm easily excited about stuff too. And I don't know, this stuff just blows my mind. I think that's why I like so much the blend of science and I don't separate much of anything. Everything it just goes in the pot and is boiled down. Like, it doesn't matter if it comes from various religions, science, other schools of thought. A lot of it correlates, and really what makes life, like, kind of like ways to make life more interesting. And I mean, y'all know I don't go out much. I say it all the time, and I just don't enjoy it. Probably would now. I don't know. As soon as like we drive away from the house, I kind of wish we weren't. And I don't know. It's not necessarily agoraphobia, but it might be damn close. And I am extremely blessed to have a pig, and I can't get any of that out there, so I quite like it. And unless I have an obsession with gathering any tool and supply I could possibly use, because boredom is like kryptonite. It is, but there's a really great like little quote that I heard recently. If your mind's empty, read, and if your mind's full, write. And that means like write, draw, anything, scribble on a piece of paper, or read, watch videos. I don't watch a lot of TV shows or movies unless like I know it's going to be dripping with symbolism or some form of benefit is going to come out of it, because in a lot of cases all movies are the same to me. They creep me out, like, to put it bluntly. Seeing people like cry on command and like simulate like things, it looks fun. I wouldn't mind like being in a movie maybe, but I don't know, I overthink it way too much. And I did go to a film school for high school, but even before then, I don't know. And like, all the horrific shit you hear about the kids, like, when they grow up. So, like, I can't watch kids on TV at all. It freaks me out. And animals, I can't watch animals on TV. Because I just overthink it. Like, once I went to a circus, back when I drank a lot of beer, and the whole time, like, how do you get kicked out of a circus? I'll tell you how. You start saying things like, why don't you get in the fucking trunk of that car, when they take out all these dying looking dogs, spray painted pink, and like red sparkly stuff all over their eyes, coming out of this tiny car trunk, and they're not even like walking straight. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. And then outside, there's a guy that just like whacking an elephant tusk. I love circus themed stuff. I like the tightrope walkers. I like the motorcycle person in the cage. All that stuff. And I would really like to ride an elephant. Not in that situation and not under those circumstances though. Can't say enough about how traumatizing that all was. And I don't know, just constantly overthinking stuff like that. And like, that's why I keep my face in a notebook. Yeah, I made this weird thing. I don't know what it is. I just deployed a few little, I did a chainmail tube. And then I used, you can get this tool to make this easier. So I wrapped thin wire over slightly thicker wire, and then wrapped that over an even thicker wire, and it made this cool little tube that I made beads into. But you don't need the tool, you can just use a wire hanger and do that. And you just bend it. God, these shorts suck. Just like that. You make an L, and the idea is, I can actually do some right now. I'll do gold. Okay, no, this one. Is that the small one? Okay, I think that's the small one. Oop, that's not the small one. Okay, it doesn't matter. So, I lock it like that by just going through that loop and down it. And then I start a little bit far away and figure out what direction you want to twist the thing, and then get one twist and then slowly make it a 45-degree angle so it's going straight. And then from that, you just pinch it like that, pinch, and then spin it. Make sure it's not gathering up. For demonstration purposes, I do it quite quick, but when I'm actually like making something, I'll do it quite slow. And as you can see, it's slowly wrapping around the hanger. What once was a hanger? Well, this has to go down. Oh, maybe over there a little bit. Yeah. And you get the hang of it, you can go quite fast. It's quite but see what happens? You see that little gap? And it's relatively hard to get those to close. And when I try to do it with pliers, I just gotta keep twisting it. When I do it with pliers, I always nick everything up, but I got it pretty close. And then when you get the length you want, you cut it here and you just slide it off, and then you could put what I call a spinal wire in it, and that's what makes it so you could bend it into any shape. And I've done it for just like, I made this weird bracelet out of scrap copper from my dad's backyard. And as you can see, I did that kind of spring method to decorate. This is a bullet shell, and I just soldered, I used copper tape to solder 2 jump rings onto it, and then just made this little handle. And this little technique is kind of fun too. That's a sea bean from the beach. different rocks. But you just make a small spiral, and then you do this, you bring it back down to a spiral, and then when you stretch it out, it becomes a little cage. And I even put a big seed in it, and so it won't get crushed. I gotta figure out some new projects, because the reason why I haven't been making much jewelry is because I lost my wire cutters, and I can't get flush cuts without a flush cut. And yeah, no, like, I kind of, like, might make light of it, but God, when I leave the house, I have to bring, like, a tray full of activities, or else I will dead ass think that I locked the cat in the dryer and the stove on and all that. Didn't close the bedroom door enough, forgot to unlock the back or lock the back door. Maybe the garage is open a little bit, like everything. And also, I never really had a place to go. I go to the beach, nature reserves, and like I said, Southeast Florida, it's a huge bar culture, so like if you don't drink, there's not much to do, especially at night. And you know, so and my house used to be like in between Lake Worth and West Palm, and so everybody would stop at my house first to go out, and like I would go too, but I wouldn't go. I already got my social like time, like when they were like pre-gaming, and yeah, I would just stay back, and that was enough for me. I have a really small friend circle to begin with. I'm actually gonna have them on. My friend Alvaro does really dope art, and he DJs, but like really good, like Miami bass, but also like just about everything else, and DJ Funk Boogie, and Mark Silverstein, who is just a really big food. They're really entertaining. Like, y'all are gonna freaking love them. They're hysterical. And all my friends are much older than me, and I have, like I said, very, very, very small friend circle. Literally 3. And it's been like that for like 12 years now. Now that I started, I can't stop. It's so satisfying. And it looks like I'm not doing anything, but it's really packing. Oh. I have like no wire left. I'm only gonna do that far. Ow. I have to find wire cutters. Maybe I'll just unloop it. Hopefully tomorrow, the next day, I'm gonna start blasting through some of the games on Steam, because there's so many. Hey, see? And it's a total spring, and it's not memory wire, so it doesn't have any spring-like qualities. Maybe I'll just, oops. This is the kind of stuff, though, that I would easily be able to see this, like, on some form of, like, something fixing at the house where you need, something thicker than a piece of wire, because you could wrap this wire with this, and now you have a really thick, like, kind of cord. Well, that's your spine wire. Maybe... well, I'll ignore it for now. That didn't go as planned. You can see how nice that effect is. So if I got this in a perfect circle, like, not bad. Oh, I can use it for rings, all kinds of stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do with this one. casing. And a friend just found a ton of them. Well, this farm owner, I have a bag of them somewhere. So now I can make all sizes. And a good hack to make these, obviously just get big casings. The first box I found of these I found at a thrift store, already spent. And it was like 50 cents for the box of them too, and they're brass, so it was worth it for the brass alone. And if you need corks, because these are really good for a lot of things, especially if you need like to keep some Advil on you or a little stash of something, I don't know. Corks are really expensive. They're like $20 for a small bag of corks. Unless you look up the corks that people use for ear piercing. I guess people still use corks. And it was 50 corks for $5. And I've been looking for corks for weeks before that, and I just happened to see like recommended products when I was just mindlessly scrolling, and that's become a huge hack because a lot of bottles, will this fit it? No, not this one. But, oh, where's that? My mom broke the bottle I made her. Darn it, I'm gonna have to get a battery. I started making these bottles, and see how it had a shell on it? These two wires are utilitarian. It's a light, and the shell had two sides, and then you put the coin inside the shell, like if you were putting a coin in like a piggy bank, and the light, it lights up. Let me grab, I think I have one in here. Let me grab. Guys, someone has that too. Found them. I forgot coffee. So, yeah, there's a way to harden it, but I don't think it would add spring to it. I think it specifically has to be memory wire. Piano wire, I believe, is a type of memory wire. I actually made, there's this type of neck bracelet called Hawaiian bangles, and it's usually just one piece of wire with one bead on it. And I was making this for a while with piano wire because I got all these spools for free and had no idea what to do with them. And I think they were stainless steel, so they didn't corrode or do anything. And really nice. And I'm gonna try spin a salt. never perfect. Shit. Okay, maybe if I do. Maybe I should put these up a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll finally be able to go through the St. Augustine footage too. Tomorrow, I think, is the day I'm gonna finally have a computer after like 7 years. The last computer I used was my old, I think like Microsoft ME runs on it. And my parents' neighbor found out I didn't have a computer as a kid, and him being a programmer and like the only other people that's ever babysat me, thought that was devastating. And so he promptly took me to a computer sale. It was the coolest thing ever. Every room had something different. Like one room is just all keyboards and mouses, and you just pick all your little parts and put it together. I had LimeWire on it. I had Stronghold on it. I had a bunch of things to play around with. And I still have it actually, so I might actually make a video through that. And Will got the Commodore going really nicely. He's got I found him a Commodore VIC-20 for $50 on OfferUp, brand new in the box, never been used. You know the like styrofoam stuff, like the packaging. There's bits of styrofoam still in the like fan vent, so like those were never pushed out. I don't think it was ever turned on. And then he just got a 64 finally, because like you know, if you're gonna collect, you might as well wait for that special piece that's still brand new in the box waiting for you. And it does so much, like the organ function, because we do want to start making music for the backgrounds, but what kind of want to do it on Commodore, because like how sick would that be? Really sick. And I have an old 80s Yamaha that we could edit with it, and just can't go wrong there. I think everybody should dabble in making music, or at least drawing or something. You'd be amazed by like what your brain spews out with your hands. Like I said, all my drawings, like I don't plan for a single one of them, and they usually come out quite dark. Like I don't know why this like alien lady is so sad and dizzy apparently. Murray. But it's very enjoyable. And this is my first logo, and the variations of, but I've since switched to the pyramids. And yeah, like that was something I was going to bring up earlier. They found this structure in Turkey not too long ago, which beats out in age just about everything else. And yeah, bongos are legit. I'm trying to get some drums just because like percussion is like so important, and it's such a like sick thing to like lose yourself in. My dad has this thing that somebody made out of PVC pipes, and it's supposed to be like a bongo speaker, and you put your bongos on top of it. My dad is a character. He's like the type of person that he does not want to give a single thing to me, and so he'll let it rot in his backyard. And those bongos frickin' rotted, and I still beg him for the wood for him, because I'll stretch some fabric on that and put like some form of like hardening substance to kind of like replicate an animal skin, but yeah, he won't split with the thing. I just got a banjo. Well, actually I didn't just get it. Time flies for me. I have no concept of it. And I have to get knobs for it, but I have no idea what I'm doing as far as that. Bongos are legit though, because my idea is like people could make small sample sounds and then send it to me, and I could edit it all together and make like really like beast-like things. Because beats, granted, it might be difficult to make like a catchy beat, but anything's a beat. Like a heartbeat is a beat. That's like the same rhythm over and over again. And little pieces added up always make something spectacular. Always. Grab some more drink. the summertime, in the summertime. So, have you heard of Madame Xanadu? That's a good cover. She's one of my favorite characters, and I'm always wondering why they won't, like, make a movie or a show. Why? Madame Xanadu. She's immortal. Oh, yeah. I am down for that. Banjo. Here, found this for 20 bucks on OfferUp. It's a Kingston. I don't know if that's anything. And it's missing one tuning knob. It's very dusty, and I just gotta restring it. I actually thought it was missing all the knobs, but it's not. And could use some cleaning, of course, but 20 bucks, and it's got steel going down the frame. Steel reinforced net. My great-grandma was actually a banjo master. Ooh. She passed away when I was like a baby, so I don't have any memories of her, but yeah. I prefer piano. I've always played guitar. I have a Gibson Hummingbird, but the neck snapped. Florida sucks for wood and vintage, anything. Paper, fabric, and wood. And just dry rotted. But it's safe and sound in the closet, and one day I'll remember to bring it to Lake Worth with me, because there's some music shops there. And yeah, and I have what's it called? A Fender Telecaster. It's the same one that I've had since I was a kid, but I think it was my childhood friend, really, like, now that I'm older, broke into my parents' house and stole my guitar and everything, and ooh, I'm still waiting for him to admit to it. I have his blood for DNA proof, on witchy reasons. That got me distracted. But yeah, so all kinds of stuff. And the reason why the cops knew it was kids is because they took like all of our Hot Pockets and frozen pizzas, and just my stuff too. And yeah, so one day, I guess I was a little buzzed at the time, I went on this whole like rampage about my guitar, and a few of my friends put money together to replace it, and I still have that one. And Cherry Red, Jim Burton, it's in the other room. I should grab that. And then the only other instruments that I have still, because I lost my piano and my like church organ type setup, is a Yamaha, old like 1980s Yamaha keyboard. Not the biggest fan of it. It's just no pedal like inputs work, so I can't like get any nice traveling sounds. And there is a MIDI, but a bass, big one too. I call it the long neck, and I call it the red neck, because it's one of the only basses I've seen where the back is also painted, and that's an Ibanez. It's got the same strings on it since before I was born. They're so thick they don't break. They sound like wood, but I kind of like it. And Yeah, I think because since the acoustic broke, I haven't been really playing guitar much because got an amp to plug it into, but I like quietly. It's more of a like a personal hobby rather than like I plan on making songs and singing them in front of people, but uh, I do genuinely really enjoy it. I think that's why I like Pinback so much too, is because it's just two dudes and two basses. Two basses. Pinback is, they're from like the late 90s, early 2000s. They're brilliant. They're my favorite band in the history of bands. And it's like, they're essentially two bassists. They have a lot of small sounds. They sing a lot of like, I don't know, sci-fi, conspiracy-friendly stuff, but not too blatant. Like there's this one song where they just start saying that the drones are near, and the drones are indeed here, so, but they're really good. Christy actually was one of the ones who turned me on to them when I was a very young child. She's slightly older than me, so like I was kind of more ahead of everybody else music-wise. Like I was listening to Pinback and Darkest Hour when everybody else was listening to the Beach Boys, I wish, so the Backstreet Boys. Always well-rounded though. And like, I know I had good taste in music because I'm still listening to the same stuff to this day. And I guess that's not like, oh wow, that works really well. I just gotta think of what to put on it, but that works. A little sloppy on this side, and this part is bent weird. But I'll find a pipe. I have all these like pieces of copper pipe because I just won't go and buy one of those ring mandrels so you could like make a ring any size and a specific size. I use pipe scraps in guesswork, but that's why I never have rings available in my shop because I have no idea what size they are. They're like big-ish. I was just gonna ask too, but then my brain is always rattling. Steinberg, that sounds familiar. I haven't heard that in a long time though. I'm looking up the font that they use. Oh! I haven't seen those in a long time. Is it one of the... Is that a... No, that's not a rhombus. One of these style? Or at least the ones that don't have the tuning things? I always wondered. I've never seen one in person. I always wondered how they were tuned. And I don't see it on the bottom. Is the tuning things at the top of the head, or is it at the bottom and you use like a key? Let me look up Steinberger back. Oh, I could look up tuning things. Tuners. Oh. No, I still don't get it. Where did they go? It's not in the back. I feel like it has to take a key or something. Ah, can you get it too with your fingers, or do you use a key? That is sweet as hell. The amount of times I hit the tuning area with like walking through doors and stuff, I feel like I need a necklace computer. Oh my gosh, necklace a headless compute. What am I saying? A headless guitar. Jesus, I will be okay. I'm gonna see if I have the tuna on it. I do want to get a more mobile thing so I can start switching when I have everything. It's all kind of like rigged up here, so I can't move it. But if quite a few songs on organs and stuff. No words or anything. Small sounds. I don't have a bad memory of like what chords are what, but I remember all the like hand shapes, and I mean, I know a lot of people don't have access to lessons, but I'm self-taught in everything, so like drawing, sewing, any form of instrument. So naturally, I guess I have a different way. Like sometimes I'll try to get a certain chord and my fingers have been playing it weird for so long I can't even play some things properly. And your rakes, that's what I call rakes. And I miss piano so much. And I've been looking for one with like weighted keys, and gosh, either I just had no idea how expensive they were, or I had no idea how expensive they were. Because like in Lake Worth you always see not keyboards but pianos on the side of the street, and you can only fit so many. And I had a Wurlitzer for the longest time, and that was just on the side of the street, and it was brilliant. It was slightly out of tune, but only slightly. And God, it was so satisfying. I have these really long fingers, so it's absolutely perfect. A little too like was it lanky? No, a little too like weak for bass. Oh my God, the bass that I have is huge. Hello, Dina. Let me get perfect. Yeah, come on. Nice. My cat has lost her hearing, so it's incredible how vocal she's become. Hello, Elijah. Another boring stream. Tomorrow to Sunday, sometime between them, I will have a computer and I can start editing videos again, and stuff like that. Because between Will's drone footage and all the stuff that is clogging up my phone right now, I got a bunch of videos ready to go, especially all the St. Augustine stuff. I have yet to get any of that out, and there's a lot of fun things. I think I did post one video. I got a new deck of tarot cards, so I brought them there, and I have one of the cards here. A lot of decks come with a few welcome cards. But look how sick that art is. You can see how shaky my hands are. Coffee doesn't help. Like, it's my favorite type of art, and I want to start making more kaleidoscopic things, like mirroring images, and I feel like it'll get me better at drawing things more than once. Because I'm actually working on a comic, and it's a comic I wrote when I was in high school too, called Negative Nancy, the Positive Prostitute. She hates her life but loves her job, and it's like a kind of a beachside town like Lake Worth, and a beachside bar town, and like a lot of the bar itself is called the Sandy Snatch, and like in every bar there's regulars, and one of my favorite regulars is Axl Rose. She's a female trucker, and yeah, and gosh, what are the other characters? I have a sci-fi one too with aliens, and the universe is the universe is the universe is called Karmak. And it turns out like that almost exists, and in like the style that I kind of pictured it. And like I made that one when I was like out in middle school. Like Astra was the planet itself in the universe of Karmak, and like Astra like means to the stars, and I think it's Karvak that in message there's something that's Karvak, and I know it's not from Star Trek or Gate. But that's one of the reasons why I keep trying to practice drawing, is because I want to start making comics again, and a little more intently than I did in the past. What did I say? I have a bad habit of forgetting what I say directly after I say. That's why sometimes I'll look down and I'll be like, oh, what? Because I do get quite rambly. I think that's why. Because I'm generally quite a quiet person in person, but like I am quite rambly. I think that's why I'm glad I did a YouTube. I've been planning on doing this for such a long time. Because again, I don't leave my house, like, and I'm always working on stuff, and anything to keep me in here and focused, because this is where all my tools and supplies are, and without them I can't do much of anything. I could write stuff, but oh no, she's back. Hi, kitten. I wonder if you can see her. Hi, kitten. Kitten. Psst. She was adopted from a really Gucci pet food place, but after a certain age, she just decided she was no longer living inside, and oh my god, the first like week she was outside, she got hit by a car, and my other cat, Audrey, got attacked by a raccoon. The hospital bill was insane. Audrey couldn't get stitched up because it was like an infected wound, so she just had to like leak it out. And she is like one of those scrawny, like long cats, and she had a cast, I almost said cactus, and it whacked her in the face every 2 seconds, and somehow she would get out of the cage, and you would just hear this horrific thud, and she has metal in her legs now, and yeah, thankfully, soon after that, moved in with Will to the middle of nowhere, so she has plenty of room to not get hit by a car. And yes. And when I am like slightly exaggerating in the middle of nowhere. It's a normal place. It's just certain towns, especially like Lake Worth. Lake Worth is the best little town on earth. I don't get to go very often because it's like 2 hours away. A little longer, 3 hours away. And all the houses are stacked up onto each other. And like if you see the pictures in the 60s, they're nice and spread apart, but slowly over time, like landowners put two properties on the house, and then it was sectioned off, and those became separate apartments, and it's just kind of feels like a movie set almost. And that's how a lot of the spots in Florida I think are, because a lot of spots on the coast turn into tourist hotspots, and kind of see it happening with Lake Worth. Not a lot of people know of Lake Worth, so it's not working just yet. But yeah, she's lost her hearing, but she's just as vocal as ever. She was 7 years old in 2011, and you know, it's 2022 now, so she is a little old lady, and still highly active, and she's like the softest cat ever. And yeah, next stream I think I'm going to be doing it in the room with Blue, so we could get Pig Boy up on here. I'm going to be going on Steam and blasting through any witchy themed game, and yeah. And if that goes well, I might just make a Twitch, because a few of my friends are on Twitch doing crochet and stuff like that, and I don't mind more places to kind of ramble into, because I don't know, after like I get off of streams I feel so much more productive, and I end up doing a lot more. And I think it's because, like, if you know there's show and tell every week at school, like you're gonna, I don't know, put a little more effort into, oh, that's really cool, I could show, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I have excitement into showing things now. And before it was just Will and my mom. Now I have the entire ether at my fingertips. And I just genuinely enjoy it. I don't socialize much because I don't get out much. And I don't know. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in your mind, and sometimes you have to say things out loud. And talking to yourself still carries the stigma. So yeah. Oh yeah, share it on the Discord, and I will start making a list, because that's just, I just haven't gotten around to making a profile, which I probably will do today actually, so I remember. Is it an app? I don't know much about it. I was gonna make one forever ago, because I like playing just about anything, and like, I've been playing Will's Elden Ring. Yeah, I got it now. I'll remember to make a profile finally. And the game has no chill, and but it's highly entertaining. And yeah, I like the idea of, I was raised an only child, so like, since I don't know how to play Pokemon cards, who the hell was I gonna play Pokemon cards with? Myself. Then those are essentially just tarot cards. But I like the idea of being able to play with people online and like having actual conversation, or just being a verbal warfare or something like that. I know girls don't have it easy in like live game situations, but I thrive on chaos. It's really hard to like get on. I know I'm a very sweet person or whatever, but I am quite an arsehole, and I'm a quaint little shit, and I just enjoy it. I know how to have a good time, and you know, it just sounds really fun. And when I start going on Omegle, I don't know. It's one of those things, I've never done it, so I wanted to do it ever since I was a kid. And just selflessly shamelessly self-promote, and because I'm not quite good at that. I always say that I can make anything except money. So I'm gonna start promoting my shop on Omegle, because it's just like human roulette. It sounds so fun. I don't know why. And I went from being like very antisocial to now I'm like just some social butterfly in my mind. So self-promotion. I don't know why I always feel the need to like I don't know. I find that anybody who makes stuff like hardly ever likes their creations. They do sometimes, but I don't know. It's hard to self-promote. I think, I don't know. Like, you guys should see me when, like, somebody asks me how much something is. I glitch. I don't know what to say. Like, it could have the price tag on it, and I'm just like, you tell me. I don't make these rules. And, I'm working on a thing now, because I want to start trading things with people. Like, for instance, it could be seeds, or dried flowers, or flowers that I have to dry myself, I don't care. I haven't been going to as many yard sales as I would like, and I'm just not up in time. In order to get to a yard sale, I have to stay up all night, and people be psychos out here. They're starting them at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, they just woke up and then they're starting them. I'm trying to switch around my sleep schedule. It's not going very well, but I am trying, because I don't get anything done anymore. It's just not enough hours in the day, and I'm one of the only like night owls that I know, so anytime I'll decide, okay, well, I'll go on live anyway, but there's nobody there. Like, it's already 1, I cannot believe it, and I have more energy now than I've had all day. I'm just messing my hair up all kinds of ways. That's the thing. The only reason why... The time, yeah, but materials, a lot of my materials I get for darn near free. Like, a lot of my beads I rip off of vintage dresses. I rip off of vintage dresses, and, like, it doesn't cost me anything, but it will cost me hours to get it off the dress, and then sometimes I have to clean in between, like, where the fiber was in the bead, depending on how the fabric that kept it together degraded, and so a lot of that is really time consuming, and I get so much for free, and like all the inmate beads, just I got like a lot of beads for absolutely free. I think I gave her $10 just because I was blown away with how many there were, and I try to put all this in the story of the listing, and I feel like it doesn't really make much of a difference of what I put. A lot of people, I don't know if the people read the descriptions, because I recently just shut down my Etsy because I have my own site, so I'm just going to start trying to promote that, even though Etsy does get you a lot of traffic, and you just gotta give them too much. You gotta pay for the listing and give them like 8 or 10% or something like that, and it's a little much for me, and especially having a site, and like if Etsy finds out that you're, even if you make the sale and then tell them about your website, they frown upon that. They frown upon a lot of things, and it's just a little too sterile, and I don't know. Now that my website is active again, I got my friend Amanda involved into it, because I didn't want it to be just me. I want it to be more of a communal thing, because a lot of my friends are indeed artists, and but they don't have it in them to make their own website or whatever. They're perfectly content. So I have a site now. I could promote anybody on it, and now that it is active again, because I have been taking a break doing this and haven't been making any updates or blog posts or anything like that. And right now I don't have card processing, so people have to like email me or message me on Instagram, and I know that's a whole nother nightmare. I find a lot of people just want to buy something and not have to like essentially ask permission and or deal with another human, and we're pretty removed. It's a pretty removed time right now. Like dealing with other humans is like the whole like thing like card worker or the gas thing that says something's not working, go see the cashier, and they're like freaking out, no way, I'll just do without gas. I don't know. I guess I get so excited to talk to people, I don't know. And I'm very like closed off, very shy, like, but not in front of strangers, or I guess by myself in a room in front of a camera, even though I know y'all are there. And if there was like, it says there's 5 people here, if there's 5 people in this room like staring at me like talking, I wouldn't be talking, I'd be like freaking out and I'm having a crisis. But I don't know, there's something different. And I find benefits in just about everything. Like, if you start reading, you'll find you're more articulate and like you could speak more clear. And I love reading, and I'm horrible at it. I have to read the page a good 3 or 4 times before it absorbs. And I chronically take notes while I'm reading. Like, I'll read a page and write damn near the whole page on a piece of paper because I'm like, oh, that was interesting. And but I forgot what it's called when you learn by writing something down. It like triggers something. It like saves it or downloads it better, more clearly. And one of those hot tub people, we actually have a hot tub. Then those inflatable ones. The kitten or the cat, it can eat a snake that always makes a window appearance. That's like her favorite place in the world because it's always warm. And I never thought about putting that to use. But I totally forgot that was a thing. Yeah, on Instagram now, what is it called? I love feet. That's the profile. They keep commenting on every single post. Like I'm gonna ask them, promote my profile or my feet? Promote my feet? And it's like, hey dear, we would love to connect with you. We would like to promote your profile on our big network and grow your profile by taking our services. And it's called Feet Lovers. And I got 4 posts. Promotion Hub. On our 6 million network. But they have 4,000 followers. I don't get it. Promote my feet? Yes. I don't judge. Shoot. I mean, might be somebody's thing seeing somebody's foot chewed on by a pig. It's gonna happen anyway. No judge. One more coffee. good example of something I treasure a little too much. It's a can, looks like aluminum, and a stick. But it's so satisfying watering plants with this. I found it in my grandpa's things after he passed. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And it's a big business right now. Everybody was getting OnlyFans and that quickly dried up, and now everybody's selling feet pics. Oh, I know. Feet finder. Everybody's gotta grab a side hustle. I got a lot of side hustle ideas. If you live next to a cemetery, you can sell cemetery dirt for $5 for a tiny little bag of it. Granted, you should probably do some stuff like pick up at the cemetery, maybe like talk to the caretaker to make sure it's cool. But you find the grave of like a serial killer or murderer, that's like $25 a bag. Just saying. You got a rogue brick laying around. Turn that into dust. $5 a bag. Red brick dust. Used a lot in Louisiana and in that area. As kind of a good luck and like a protection from evil. And just there's like little traditional things done. I mean, God, dehydrated rat testicles are a good $30 on eBay and some shops. There's all kinds of side hustles out there. Oh, my mommy. I went through a phase where I was in 4th grade. I listened to a lot of ICP. And for those who don't know, that's Insane Clown Posse of Psychopathic Records. Whoop Whoop, Faygo Soda, whole 9 yards. And we used to put foil on our teeth and ask people, "What's up, son?" Big Money Hustlers. That was like their movie. Big Money Hustlers is still hysterical. It's one of the funniest movies. It's like trauma era, ridiculous, the most ridiculous possible. But I still get a kick out of it. And I hear like ICP coming back in really strange ways. Like I keep hearing like on TikTok videos. I don't have TikTok. Don't think I ever will. But I watch a lot of TikTok videos on YouTube just because some of the comedy on it is genuine gold. And it's just so, like, I don't know. It doesn't take much to entertain humans, and I find it very endearing to watch people being entertained by simple things. Like, there's nothing more wholesome than watching a family flip a bottle and just have the most fun doing so. Doesn't hurt anybody. And I totally forgot what I was going for. Oh, where's I got another top. I got the Inception top, and it's genuinely a really good top. It's small. I think it's in my box in the room, though. Let me think for a second. Has to be in it's the little Inception top. They're like $5 on eBay, and they legit spin for a really long time. This is just a fun depot one. I have an infatuation with... Where is it? These things. Can't go wrong with these things. Okay. And, hand fidgets. Dehydrated. Here's a really old one that I got from the fair. It's just, a little key puzzle where you use this opening of the key to slide around parts strategically until you get it out. And so you do here, and then, what is it? You do that, oh yeah, and then you put it like that, and you slip that through, It's just so clever. And then what do you do? Is that it? No. Oh yeah. Yeah. This one was really fun, but now I can't figure out. I think I got this one at Walgreens. And it's like 2 bearings in this figure 8, but now I gotta figure out how to put it back, and that's been way more difficult than getting it together. Because you kind of use gravity as your strategy to get it apart, but getting it back together, and you do like, that's cool because like there's a few levels in here, so judging if you have it on that side or have it here, it and it's very simple. You can see there's only 2 little catches in it, and it's just, yeah, so 5 levels you have to kind of maneuver. And then anytime I find these, I always pick them up. These are the really simple, and there's some a little more difficult ones, but this movement is really satisfying. Oops. Yeah. It reminds me of tuning forks, like bent tuning forks. Yeah. I have my great-grandmother's at my parents' house, but every time I try to get it, my dad won't let me take it. It's the classic horseshoe one, and then you move it and the 2 rings come off. Absolutely love it. Yes, it is. Holy crap, it is the movie that the Misfits are in, and every time they say Sugar Bear goes do 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 do, the movie is hysterical. And yeah, the whole bunch is in there, and there's a lot of, like, that cop is from another band. Not the Meatheads. Meatheads totally different. What is that called? Oh god. Okay, so I have to look it up. Big Money. And he's in a lot of other movies, I think. And I think in Tromo movies. In the description they call him a rhyming super cop. Oops. Yeah, Harland Williams. From Half Baked. Yeah, I know he's in a lot of stuff. Okay, what's his name? Stop, I don't want the app. Why would I want an IMDb app? Harland Williams. I think he's in a band. Maybe yeah. The Cousins, that doesn't. Huh. Cousins doesn't sound familiar. I thought he was in a band, too. Huh. It has been a good 10 years since I've seen him. And, God, I can't remember. I know it's gonna hit me. I'm gonna have to ask Christina. Because, that one came right out of left field. Like, I have pictures of him, the face paint and everything. It's horrible. I'm not judging. It's just, you know. And, still to this day, though, if I see a rogue juggalo, we'll go whoop whoop. I don't know. There's just a whole other way to connect with people. I've gone through darn near every phase. I think that's why, music taste is pretty expansive. But I feel like a lot of people, a little older than me and younger than me, have very expansive music tastes. I think a lot of it also comes with song sampling, like all different types of music, and then starting to listen to the original versions. And sampling culture, perhaps I could put it like that. And sampling culture, I kind of like that. Because we just started kind of reusing a lot of things, and like trends coming back, and like Victorian fashion is coming back in a really like modern way, as in like the corsets are like kind of like tops, and I'm here for that. I am here for that. Sailor Moon, but make it Victorian. I always thought I was born in the wrong generation, don't we all? But sometimes I'm convinced I wasn't, because we have access to it all at once. And I feel like a lot of the good stuff is already behind us, so you get to like, I don't know, the bowl is so much more full. And I got a kick out of it. I was listening to it so every Halloween. Sometimes I'll put on some old school ICP from like Riddlebox and stuff, because there's a few songs that are just hilarious. Like there's Another Love Song and Bitches that they're comedically great. They're pretty funny. There's a few like for spooky season, and but I could listen to just about anything. Like I will be listening to Enya one second and Crucifix the next second. And I have a playlist, a public playlist on here. A few of them, in my opinion, greatest albums ever recorded, which a lot of them are missing because I can't find the entire album. I can only find playlists. I can't save playlists to a playlist. And greatest songs of all time. Always down for recommendations, and really, I actually genuinely appreciate recommendations, because I find out music genuinely through other people, or hearing it one way or another. And oh, that's scary. AC turned on and the TV turned on at the same time. And yeah, no, I like I say, I don't watch a lot of TV or movies, although I am down to recommendations. And it's just I feel less time wasted if I hear a song that I don't like compared to watching a whole movie, and then at the end of it, just like, that was absolute garbage. I just sat here for 3 hours, like, what? Somebody owes me. Like, and music, I mean, I listen to the TV like it's a radio, but music keeps my feet going and working or doing whatever I'm doing. And I think that's why I ramble so much on here, because I can't play music. And I do have some friends like music that I could play, but I don't have it, like, I'm not going to play it through the phone. And yeah, I have headphones in my ear 24/7, and without them, oh my god, I just ramble. Any genre. Like, Pinback is my favorite band, but I've always liked the Smiths, but now I've gotten into them a lot harder than I've ever, and because I'm reverting back to stuff that I've always listened to, because I can't find anything else. And Talking Heads, I like people that like make very specific songs, because I do listen to the lyrics, so I don't like things that rhyme too much. I don't like just, I don't like dead lyrics. I like something that has some, or just instrumental. Like I really like there's this one band called what is it? Tortoise. They're instrumental. I actually got to see them live in Miami, and they have a really brilliant album called TNT, and it's just instrumental. And Tortoise, TNT, and but every single genre I could list something from it, and Roxy Music, of course, and I know I already said Pinback. But I like it all. Even like Thursday or Atreyu or like I said, Crucifix. I love been listening to them since middle school, and it was always such a treat to yeah, Dr. Art is the man. And I mean, I'll listen to some Mentors. They're on that, what's that album? You Axed for It? And I used to skateboard pretty heavily, and it's already a very fluid, like, music taste in that, like, because if you throw in, like, a skate DVD, it's always got the best music, and from any genre. I do like disco, but I also like reggaeton. It's a relatively newly acquired taste too. I grew up with reggaeton like being very popular, like gasoline, and I got really into it, especially working outside. Like, keeps you going. And I'm also trying to learn Spanish because I do live in Southeast Florida, and the best food, the best anything you can get, like, you'll get a little farther if and it's just I don't know. We have a really, really nice, rich cultural mix up here, and I like experiencing it all and learning about it all and talking to them all. Every culture, there's so much every culture has culture. Like, I'm just so blown away by it. Like, if I get into a certain genre, I usually get into the originating country, and like, then I learn a slew of new recipes and different landforms I didn't know existed, and rabbit holes through music. And I do genuinely like trying to learn any language I can. Tried learning Arabic once. Didn't work well. Very, very, very difficult. And I still actively try to learn German just because all of my ancestors that I can trace are German. Pretty much thoroughbreds. A family of damn barbarians. And Pennsylvania Dutch. There's just so many cultures. And then there's subcultures, and then like the localized like versions of said cultures. It's brilliant. Like, it still cracks me up that the Germans were bothered by the Scots here back in the day, or the Irish. I think it was the Scots, because they just wanted to make whiskey, and surprisingly the Germans wanted to just build churches and kind of like live a chill Jesus life. I do like pinball. I used to go to Fun Depot strictly for the pinball machines, and every single day or time you go there, there's always one less operating machine. And an old friend of mine actually collects machines, and they have like 3 to 5 in their house. And then they have an outdoor like shed. You turn on one switch, doom, doom, doom. 2 sides of pinball machines. All it looks like a movie set, like crazy amazing. And I know Christina has the Addams Family pinball machine. The best one is between that and the Mars Attacks pinball machine. Mars Attacks. Will still has to see it. I don't know how he's never seen Mars Attacks. That was my favorite movie when I was a kid. It was always on channel like 58 or 53 or something, like every night. Japanese music, really. Feel free to recommend anything. Japanese, I think the only thing I really know is Kyari Pamu Pamu. And she has that Pon 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 song. It's painfully adorable. If you're ever having a bad day, look up the Pon 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 guy. And it's just one dude just so happy to be alive watching Kyari Pamu Pamu. And I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that comes out of my mouth I've never said out loud before, because I'm relatively a self-contained person. Everything stays in here or goes in notebooks, but yeah, I think that's another reason why too I want to get more out there, is because debating is so valuable. That's why I'm so terrified of this world today, because without debating, like, it's so hard to formulate opinions, and if you can't formulate opinions, then you're just gonna go in line with everything else, and I think that's what is gonna completely wipe the reason why this is genuine. I used to be of the notion that this was the worst country in the world, yada yada, it was so horrible. But I study world culture and for fun, and I know for a fact that it isn't the worst place in the world. You can be so many things without fear of like violence. Yeah, there's a lot of violence here, but it's almost like individual to individual. It's not like the societal norm. And like if you fall in the street, somebody's gonna help you up and like stuff like that. But it sounds so simple, but it's not. And there's a lot of parts of the world that that's not the norm. Like you could fall and everybody walks by you. If you say hi to somebody, it's considered rude if you don't know them. And it's just I feel like we're a spoiled bunch, and so it makes it like kind of hard to see, I guess. But I don't know. I just awareness, I think, and clarity is really important, and not getting too hung up on personal thoughts, like keeping those on the background so you could still acquire new thoughts. Because if you keep it on the foreground, you're just going to look for confirmation biases and just deny anything that doesn't align with your thoughts. And when you don't want that, you don't want to say, no, don't add more spices to my soup. You want to say, spice me up. Spice up your life. Spice world. Okay. In here. Come on. Fill her up. Because, and it would just be, like, painfully boring. And I just think everything is totally fine. It's just the arguing nonstop. And even if it's, like, should be crazy. Like, calling cops on kids for, like, playing music too loud, and, like, just weird little things like that that are just, absolutely pointless. People like that, I guess maybe it just, there needs to be, like, a camp, like a re-education camp, that it's just, like, kind of like a let loose thing that people can do, because, god dang, uptight people, it's just, my dad always says there was always a dick in the crowd, and, I don't know, I find it so hard to, like, argue with somebody, unless it's, like, a debate, and a lot of people don't get that. I am still shook by my conversation the other night. Well, you must be reading this because you're not informed, like, exhausting. But, ooh, my coffee's done. Oh, is that? Oh, let me look it up. I never heard of that song. Invader, Invader. Hell yeah. There's only 2 songs of hers that I knew, and the one I don't know, what's it called? The name of it, all I know is in the music video, she's running around with a piece of bread in her mouth. And, yeah. I've gone through, oh gosh. I know there's another, I don't know if the song's Japanese, but I think it's by Anri, Shyness Boy. That song is such a jam. It's a solid jam. And, it sounds like one of those songs that's, like, playing while the world is ending or something like that. Or the world's done, ended, and, like, a stereo falls over, triggering the cassette tape, and it just, Shyness Boy. I love that song. Even the remixes of it. I have a Sailor Moon costume that should be here any day, and I'm so stoked. Yeah, no, I find it's a lot of repetition. And like, a good way to find out if it's repetition, it's by asking them just like the simple question of why, or oh, I didn't hear about that. When did that happen, or something, or ask something specific. They have no idea. And sometimes, if the person holds a wee bit of like intelligence, they'll realize that. And I don't mean that in a rude way. How else can I say it? They'll usually realize that they did just repeat something and unfounded. And very rarely do people do their own research because, like, well, I guess why do your own research if you feel like you know exactly what's going on? And I don't understand. Some of it's so blatant and like the laptop thing. That is some grimy. I know some grimy people. I've met some grimy people. Not that grimy. Like, I mean, I don't know if they're that grimy, but like stuff like that makes me not doubt that these people smell like sulfur. Because like I'm still speechless on it, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody could even like admit that like yeah, it's really gross. Like, doesn't matter what side, whatever. There's certain things that like I don't know. They find like good in every part of it, and when I say they, I just mean like anybody who, not anybody. See, I'm so like careful with how. I'm not very careful, but I try to be. I always get hung up because I don't know how to say something that I want to say. That's very 2022. I think that's why I do value like people like Gonzalo Lara, because he's not afraid to say whatever he thinks, and that's such a rarity. And regardless, like even that's not me saying I agree with. I don't agree with everything that anybody says, but I value it deeply, and I use it no matter what, and even as conversation points, or just to again add it to the soup and see what it tastes like with that added to it. And I get when you hear things, it's very hard to unhear things. And but yeah, I'll listen to anybody that's not afraid to talk their mind, no matter what that is. And it's the filter that like because I want to hear people, like I want to hear what they want to say, not what they I don't know. I guess I can't really talk because look at me, like literally censoring myself. And it's not that I'm censoring myself, it's my opinions change more than daily, and I don't want to be quoted by saying anything because it's going to change tomorrow. And that's the part that people don't understand, is that changing your opinion is completely natural. You add something to something, it's going to change the volume. It's, you know, sometimes it overfills and it doesn't fit that cup anymore, so you need to get a bigger cup. Or, you know, because why waste? You're not going to pour any of it out, just get a bigger cup. Don't waste it. Whatever it is. Mustn't waste. That's like pretty much the only words I live by. And scary stuff. But I really do want to talk about it, but like maybe on a different channel. And because like I said, nobody really ever knows what I'm thinking because I always play devil's advocate anyways, like even if I agree, because it's just that middle ground everybody should be striving for. because, and like, I always bring back to the bus stop, like, our coffee shop, we're all living in harmony in the sense that we all go to the same grocery store, we all wear our clothes, like, I don't know, you could talk to anybody, wish them a good day, or like, say you like their shoes or something like that, and have no idea what they stand behind. And the whole thing is like, it's their right to think anything anyway, just like, we're allowed to think whatever we want because it's our right. So picking and choosing what's right and wrong, and like going completely against somebody for thinking something when that's the whole point to begin with, it's so backwards. And they're saying like everything else is backwards, but I get everybody uses like their selfie things, but mirrors exist, they're valid, people should look in them often, and you know, because life is presenting towards other people. This whole like culture too of like being self-sufficient, but you're not being self-sufficient, you're being like Amazon, like what is it, Amazon like dependent, and it's I do like seeing that people are finally giving plants a chance and growing them, because and IDing them, and it's so important. Like, if I didn't have money today to eat, I know exactly what I could go out, walk a few blocks, and find a whole freaking feast. You know, maybe throw some grubs in for some nutrition. I haven't tried eating grubs yet, although I want to. I want to start out with a palm grub or palm weevil larva, because they're just big and they look like shrimp. But there's also June bug larva that's readily available everywhere. I want to break that stigma for me, because it is just land shrimp, and spices make anything nice, and bugs may not be the future, but I feel like an acceptance of eating bugs is definitely in the future. We're, I think, part of the, I forgot how many percent, like a very small percent of people that think it's strange to eat insects, and nobody else has a problem with it. And if you see the like cultures that have heavy insect diets, their teeth are gorgeous. Their exoskeleton is pretty much, I think it's calcium and the other stuff, don't quote me on that, but it's just, Joseph Yoon is a great entomophagist and chef, and I think his restaurant's called Brooklyn Eats or Brooklyn Bugs or something like that. I don't know. I'm a man of many interests, and insects are definitely one of them. Yeah, I could get down with it. For a while I was looking for scorpions, so I could never find any to breed, because I think those, I feel so bad. I love scorpions. I think they're one of the coolest looking animals ever, and they can be endearing, but I feel like the crunch and the calcium content in the shell, really worth giving a go. Little mini lamb lobsters, or land lobsters, and like I said, peppers, spices, anything could be delicious. I think it's a texture thing, and again, the stigma of it. Yeah, just like even a broken clock or a dead clock is right twice a day. Because, yeah, that's the thing, like, even if something good comes out of something bad, people find it hard to admit that. And when something bad comes out of something good, or what they perceive as good, is equally as difficult. Like, I guess, like, crack and prostitute. I mean, I'm not gonna get on a sex work tangent, because I really don't care. I think it helps a society more than it hurts, honestly, to have that as an option. And I don't know, I don't have much of an opinion on it. But I just thought, laptop. It's just so grimy. It's so gnarly. It's scurvy. Like, what in the salamander? Like, shit's not cute. Like, it's not. It's gnarly. But, I don't find a lot of people that are, open to, I think because ever since I was a kid I was so obsessed with like survival shows and Bear Grylls. I used to think he was so legit, but to be fair I thought Chris Angel was like legit. I was very young. Tomb Raider, just obsessed with, and untouched like civilizations and tribes, and I guess like tribal life in general, like how it's very communal and like all of the materials used in that village is like foraged from around that village. Very fascinating to me. And like, I don't know, bugs, they're just so similar to the things that, because I really like seafood. My dad's a fisherman. He hasn't been out in a long time, but like he used to leave Thursday and come back Tuesday, like, and the boat didn't have a cabin on it. And but very, very into seafood, but I don't know, I want to try it. And then I had the opportunity to try the larva in a honeycomb when we removed a beehive from a camper because it was destroying all the tech and everything. And trees were happy, the tech was not. And I tried to move them, didn't work. But I wanted to try some of them because apparently they're like nutty, and I couldn't do it. My mom's diabetic, so she pricks her like finger, and I tried to do it out of curiosity, and I couldn't press it. I have a very high pain tolerance. It pierced my own septum and like gauged my ears. I have very high pain for some reason. I couldn't yeah, but and they were like shocked too. I'll never forget that. They were looking at me like I was a part of an exhibition. They were just I felt very bad that she has to do that multiple times a day. But it's like onset diabetes that my mom is falling apart actively. That's why my shop is my number one thing this year, because I think I'm gonna just adopt my mom as my firstborn son and just take care of her now, because she's not doing it herself, and it drives me nuts. Like, I'm about to break her TV, like, in a million pieces. She has an exercise machine in front of the TV, but she'll just sit there and watch TV. I hate it so much. And there's so many ads. Like, when I'm over there, I glitch so hard and just, like, fuming, because the ads and the same commercial, sometimes they'll play the same commercial back to back. It drives me absolutely up the wall. And they don't have internet. There's a cell phone scrambler. I don't care if I sound nuts. They exist. There's a cell scrambler, and it's on all day, and it turns off at like 12 to 6 in the morning. And every single person on the streets, all the same neighbors for years, their phones don't work suddenly. And yeah, so there's no internet or anything until like 1 in the morning. So I can't just like have something on in my headphones or something. Can't stand that shit. I would rather weeds in the blazing sun than to watch commercials. Even though I do get a kick out of commercials. I find them, they're designed to sell something to somebody, so of course there's going to be some fascinating aspects in it, like especially how they choose to do so. And there's some commercials that are absolutely hysterical. Like was it the panda yogurt or panda cheese or something? There's these Japanese commercials, and like it involves a panda and he's just ripping the like cords out of hospital machines. I think because like things too, like you could just at least grind down, because it's like the protein and the calcium. There's so much of it in there. And, you know, right now I'm just talking talk, because I have yet to fully, like, I did flush some out with cornmeal. I just put them back in the ground. I chickened out. I chicken out every time. But one day, I know I'll give it a go. And I'm hoping that I don't mind it. So in case even more shit hits the fan, I'll be okay. Like in Naked and Afraid, they're in woods. There's logs everywhere. You mean to tell me a single person can't just move a log and find a bunch of grubs under there and eat that? They claim to be all about survival and stuff like that. I mean, and they'll eat like mystery berries before they'll eat like something they know is like fine. Which, that's, I think, I don't know, be prepared. Come from the time where girls were not allowed to be Boy Scouts, so I kind of had to do it myself. I just, I don't know. I think it's really nice. What the hell happened? I've a bad habit of standing up under desks and completely smashing my backbone and my shoulders and everything. And, I guess unless and if there's money involved, I wouldn't chicken out then. 'Cause I don't know. I want to be able to do it. I don't have the biggest hopes, but I want to be able to do it. Because you can't live off plants. People try. They end up looking like Civil War era coal miners. Can't live without, like, proteins and fats. And that's another thing. Grubs are, like, all fat. Like, they are the survival food. And I've yet to see anybody, maybe Bear Grylls back in the day, like, took a little nibble before getting some McDonald's, but, yeah, I've never seen, a lot of people go for the grubs, and they're everywhere. If there's a log, there are grubs. I always say they're nutty, but Josephine is definitely interesting, because it was interesting seeing insects, like, plated in such a fancy manner, and, yeah. I don't know about the cockroach shit. Like, people are talking about cockroach poo. Yeah. Yeah, but I think desperation, too, when that comes in. Also, there's always fish. There is always fish, especially if you, like, find a decent water source. I think I would have to choose fish before anything, even if it was microscopic fish. But one day, I mean, I guess I should make a video on it, because I have a bunch of grubs in the yard, and, or I have access to a bunch of grubs, and, I think I would actually try it if I gave myself any amount of pressure, and, because it was just me, I'm not gonna eat that. I'll make some Hot Pockets, or pizza rolls, but, I think if yeah. I want to try it so bad, but I chicken out every time. And, what else? There's another edible I don't think I could eat snakes, though. That's one thing I don't. I like snakes too much to want to eat. And, like, watching the. That's the one thing I think that gets me. But nothing else really bothers me. I tried gator once. I felt really bad for, like, a month, because that's my favorite animal ever. But she was nasty. They asked me what part I wanted, and I said, whatever you prefer, so they probably gave me the crappy part, because it was not good. Clewiston is a town in Florida. They have an annual Sugar Fest. It's really fucked up, honestly. The first day was Sugar Fest. It was like death metal on the stage, first of all. There's a ton of juggalos everywhere, but there's juggalos there the whole time. Death metal on the stage. Like, literally. Like, I've never seen, it's like a small, like, what they call podunk or whatever, farming town. I love it. It's a really old, sugar farming town. Like, you could get fresh sugar made, or sugar syrup made out of, Fairbanks and Morris. They used to make these huge motors, and they're the things that you see, those giant wheels, and just spinning away. You can feel the earth moving next to them. But they use those still to this day to make syrup. And but anyway, long story short, first day Sugarfest, death metal on the stage. The next day is Brown Sugar Fest, where it's like R&B and reggae on the stage, and better food, much better food. I still am unsure what to think about that. Yeah, no, you can't live off a rabbit. You get like a weird protein, too much protein or something, and it has like no fat. I remember reading about that. Oh, so you have tried an insect. And that's true. Could always use this catch the better food, fish. I remember when we were kids, we had like mealworm eating contests. I always won. I think that's why I feel like I could. So technically, I guess I have eaten insects. And my mom used to always get me the dehydrated mealworms. And my friend recently picked me up a pack. They're not bad, they're just crunchy. Air, essentially. Eggs, too. That was... I can't get them in nature. You kind of need just, like, hens. Because, it would feel horrible grabbing an egg out of somebody's nest. And, probably something forming inside of it. It's not just, like, an egg you find. But I do feel like our bodies are really good for climbing trees. And I don't think we're climbing trees for just fruit. I think we're also climbing it for eggs. And I just was reading the water ape theory of why we stand upright and why our fingers prune. Because we were like semi-aquatic, like regarding this theory. And like we started going to the shore, and when you go to the shore you could stand up and walk, and I feel like that would explain why we only have hair on our head and not really on our body, but who knows, because like just like anything, there's so many different theories, there's so many different ways to look at it, and a lot of them can be, you know, believable or make sense, but it makes sense because of the stuff that's already in my mind bank. I can make sense with like interlocking different thoughts, but I think that's why I like getting to so much. I still think we're like passed down from the Sumerians. We were just here to mine some gold, and then was ditched, and then some guy felt bad and came back and gave us like the ability to have meaningful lives before we decomposed into the ground. And then to do it all over again. I don't know. But, does that, and nobody will ever know. Nothing could absolutely, we're basing everything off of things that we've found and named, or noticed, I should say, not really found, everything's already here, but we've noticed and then named. So, I feel like that's one argument why nothing can be true, really, anyways. Anything can be valid. There's too many missing pieces. Like, do you know what song, like, somebody's saying if they give you one word of it? I mean, one word and a few notes, maybe, but too many missing pieces. I I never thought about that. What the fuck? I never thought about that. I never even thought to look like do apes swim. I never thought about that. And I've never seen it either. I like watching videos of apes like get primates getting people's cameras, because like you can see them up close and like their curiosity. Some of the most fascinating footage I can think about is when monkeys take somebody's camera and like explore it. God, I never thought about that though. Swimming apes. I have to go to the bathroom really bad. I sucked down so much coffee. I just realized that I forgot about dinner. Let's see if there's anything notable. Every time I quit the stream, I'm like, oh, that's what I was gonna do, and I totally forgot. I'm trying to make lists again, but I keep. I never realized how hard it is to keep track of myself, because usually I just do, like, eat when hungry, make when creative, sleep when tired, wake when not tired, sun if lethargic, just intuitive, feel and go, but trying to film those, like, transitions through the day, I guess. I haven't figured it out yet. And it's quite hard keeping track of myself, and I didn't know that. Yeah, but I think I want to get back into making stuff because I haven't designed any cards at all. I keep spreading myself too thin too because all the plants that I have to keep alive, astronomical, without irrigation, just arms and a bucket of water. And what else? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was sitting right in front of me this whole time. I got this when we went to Colorado. It's a Tibetan penny hammered into like convex shape, and it's a shell. It's very nice. And oh, I already forgot what I was talking about. Oh, that's what I needed to do. I need a blue sack. Here's an example. Somebody was gonna throw away the shirt. I mean, it's not the most flattering thing. Nice color, I guess. Comfortable fabric. Not flattering at all. Maybe with a high-waisted skirt if you were like an office person. But these are all metal beads. And they're in perfect condition. When I take them off, it'll be a nice, huge, like pretty big bowl full. To buy nice metal beads, anywhere from $5 to $12 for all these from a craft store. And so I just grabbed that, and I'm gonna take them all off eventually. I already washed the shirt, so the beads are totally fine. Stuff like that I could just throw in the wash. It's the antique dresses that are just dripping with stuff that's already falling apart that I have to do by hand. Because, like, I have all these black beads that came from a flapper dress. Like, the dress, like, any part you pulled up, it just kind of fell apart. It was like trying to pick up, like, really hot melted cheese or something, but it didn't stay together. Like cheese, I guess that was a bad example. But, yeah, and glass beads. It pains me to know how many beaded garments are just thrown away. There should be a service, maybe that's my calling, like, where people just send you beaded stuff, and you turn it into little bags of beads rather than, or strands of beads. And it's all salvaged beads, and the world lived happily ever after. Oh, there it is too. When I was a kid, I used to steal my dad's beer and bring it to the homeless people in the square, is what we used to call it, and he made me this bracelet. I've had this since I was in like 8th grade. It no longer fits my hands. And he used an angel statue at one of the local churches, and he dried it into shape on that, so he made it and then left it on an angel for a few days and then gave it to me. And I still have it. This thing is one of my most treasured items, completely. He also did a larger one too. I started turning it into a dream catcher, but I made the loops a little too close together, so it's taking a really long time, and I kind of gave up on it. So I'm going to keep this part and stretch it like from both sides. I understand the cultural significance of dream catchers. All I can say is I don't sell them. I make them because I like them and I want to make them. It's really as simple as that. I'm not going to stop making them. I'm not going to stop taking pictures of them. I could educate of the proper historical complexities of it, but so sick of seeing people stopping doing something. Like, oh, you can't wear saris because you're not Indian. Okay, racist. I know for a fact, and I've asked people specifically, like, owners of sari shops, or Indian clothing shops, like, would I be able to wear this? And they'd be like, yeah, why? I'd be like, you don't think it's, inappropriate because I don't have, I can't trace any India in my ancestry? It's astonishing to a lot of people because so many cultures are being swept under the rug because they can't be embraced unless they're, something you can claim. No. That's not how, appreciation and, everybody wants to stay outside of the hole. Nobody wants to be, a part of the cake. They want to stay in the measuring cup or something. I think it's very important to embrace cultures rather than erase them. And when you're saying people can't, celebrate or appreciate or learn, and if you ask genuine questions, you could be labeled, racist. A lot of cultures end up being just not learned about, not talked about, and therefore erased. And hell no. I must be from another planet because none of this stuff makes sense. And isn't imitation the best form of flattery? When a celebrity wears something, everybody starts wearing it. Unless it's a different culture. It's very bizarre. And being born and growing up as an American and being taught that America is every culture, And then just one day, I guess a bunch of people decided it's not. And I don't know, very strange to me. It's like in the early 2000s, people don't remember, people were begging to go to Iraq, like, and Afghanistan. They were begging for it, and now it's like so different. But like, yeah, we were in that whole like almost like a us and them mindset. And a lot of cultures that had nothing to do with a certain country, they just maybe have similar customs, was absolutely pushed aside, shat on, and just because it's herd mentality, maybe, I don't know. Like now it's happening with Russia, in a country where their people can't vote. It's the government that people are upset with. It's not the people, and attacking the people and the culture is just, I think it's very xenophobic, and really disheartening. People that born here because they have a certain last name or from a certain culture or ethnicity, it's so racist, it's so xenophobic, it's just so bizarre to me. And then, what was it a few years ago? It was, of course, like, it's just, there is nothing that should warrant a collective hate of a collective person, like a collective race, culture, religion, anything, because that is just, it's hideous. You can be against a government or a system or a law. Those aren't, it's so mundane. But yeah, it was just really disheartening. And I try to be very transparent about that in hopes that it won't fall on deaf ears, maybe. And some people will be like, oh, well, that makes sense. I don't want to be xenophobic, so I'm not going to attack a person because of their race, culture, or religion. It's, I guess when you say things out loud, maybe, I don't know. It's just, oh wow. Yeah, but it's with everything. Vegans versus meat eaters, like, there really isn't no versus anything, and it's on this, like, low level, so it's beneath everybody, but it's high enough that everybody seems to be tripping on it, and just gotta put it down a little lower so people stop tripping on it. But that doesn't mean take it out of the equation completely, obviously. People need to just work on themselves and their patience. Patience, it's a virtue, like, yeah. And it's, yeah, strength and patience, intelligence and patience, wisdom and patience, all the good things that people should strive for. Not like instantly start freaking out and then have a bunch of people with their phones and their cameras out. Fucking weird. But that's, and it's not just me. I feel like a lot of people feel, and I can't say I feel like that because I've been so vague with how I feel with things, and yeah, things that I'm not 100% sure about. I'd rather, I don't know. I'll never be absolutely sure about anything, so I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. Alright, well, thank y'all for stopping by. It's about 2:17 in the morning now, and I am going to probably do some doodling with Pig Boy and remember to put my camera on my face. Jesus. Well, at least not just like at my shoulders. My freakishly large shoulders. Oh yeah. Bead Rescue, that's legit it. There's a craft store I've always wanted to go to, and they all have used craft supplies, and you fill a bucket. It's like my dream come true. And yeah, I've yet to check it out. I forgot what it's called too. Resource Depot. It's quite far, but I feel like it's totally worth it. That's true, but you know what? It happened, I think, with that H3H3 whatever podcast. Um, he decided to agree with I don't want to say ill-informed either, but decided to push Jordan Peterson like off the cliff and delete the videos that he did of him. But that shows that you don't have a spine, and you know, people want a nice sturdy book in their hands. They don't want some floppy thing. And so I'm sure it didn't affect them tremendously, but I saw like videos saying that it affected them for that reason, which I don't really know much about that situation. I know Jordan Peterson is very intelligent and doesn't hold back much, but people should value that even if they don't agree with them, because at least he's not telling people what they want to hear. People should be afraid of that. Wouldn't you want somebody to tell you that, like, your dress is in your underwear, or you got toilet paper on your shoe, or, you know, I don't know, if you got something in your teeth, like, is there something in my teeth? Oh no, you look perfect. Meanwhile, there's like spinach and like some pepper over here. You got a whole freaking 3-course meal, like, that nobody else wants to say anything, but everybody knows. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, thank y'all. And like Green Dean says from eattheweeds.com and Eat the Weeds here on YouTube. I hope it's .com. It might not be .com. I keep saying .com. Eat the Weeds. Eat the Weeks. eattheweeds.com. Happy trails. Or no, he doesn't say that. That's what I say. Toodles. This is it. Well, the massive ad for transcendental meditation. Eat the Weeds. He documents any and every edible weed that the man comes across. It's incredible. It's incredible. I've been watching him on YouTube for about 8 years now, and I just love the dude. Green Dean. And dude's... If anybody's doing God's work, it's Green Dean. Can't say nothing wrong about that guy. Alright, thank y'all very much, and I will be back tomorrow, hopefully, with a pig and on blasting through some Steam games, because I'm really stoked for that. I go through like some days of like heavy crafting, and then a few days of like doodling, and a few days of like information absorbing, and to get ready for the next cycle of yeah. Alright, well, again, thank y'all. Toodles. Green Tea, eattheweeds.com, and on YouTube.